Off of first is Shin. And the pitch swung on and fouled back. Count moves to 1-2 on Aeneas Olson in the bottom of the first. Man, all these foul balls, they're still waiting for more balls to come in. They got another one. Yeah, this baseball field is well behind the school, right off of 67th Avenue. The stretch. Ortega comes home, and the breaking ball is down and away, trying to get Olson fishing, but he did not. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mustang infield playing at double play depth. Big hole on the right side. Mussman cheating towards the bag. Swung on line, and that's a base hit into left center field beyond the leaping Isaac Linker on a hanging breaking ball there, and that's 2 hits to begin the bottom of the first for Arvada. That'll bring up Jason Peterson. The unusual combination of being a left-handed pitcher and a right-handed batter. Well, let's see if he swings away or they try to play some small ball here as Arvada's posing a threat here in this frame. Jacobs gotten ahead of the hitters, but still looking for that out pitch. The stretch and the offering. That's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Peterson. First and second, nobody out, bottom 1. 4-0 Fort Morgan. And the pitch, and the breaking ball is down and away. 1-1. Yeah, these appear to be hitter-friendly dimensions in terms of depth. You get a hold of one, you can kiss it here. Throw back to first, and back in diving is Olson. Trying to nail the trail runner. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. 4-0 Fort Morgan. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jason Peterson. Ortega steps off, and he's out of rhythm right now. He felt comfortable to the first batter, but once he gave up that hit, which is something that has not happened to him in 2 starts, he's got to get back into rhythm. The pitch and the breaking ball is in the dirt, blocked by Fajardo. Ball 2, strike 1. And Fajardo out to talk to his pitcher. When you need ice, don't settle for any old frozen water. Get AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store near you. 2 balls and 1 strike. We've had a long first inning. Fort Morgan scored for Arvada, looking to get some runs on the board. And the pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. That pitch was up in the zone. Jacob got away with one there, but it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Levi Mayer, the cleanup hitters, on deck. The stretch by Jacob. Ortega delivers. Swung on and popped up behind the plate. The catcher Fajardo ranges under it, makes the catch up the first base side. And there's 1 down. Nice play there by Fajardo. 1 down here for Levi Mayer. Another right-handed hitter in this lineup for Arvada. Play was going to be the first. No balls and 1 strike to Mayer. I don't know if it's on the board. Okay, whenever you're ready. All right, a caught stealing here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Levi Mayer. Shin thrown out at third base. And the tag was applied over there by Austin Apple. Meanwhile, the trail runner took off for second, so we lost you there for a second. 2 down. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mayer, the number 4 hitter. And the pitch, and that is low and away with a changeup. Count moves to 2-2. Yeah, this is kind of up on a hill with like a valley not too far away, so hopefully the signal holds up. And I don't know what Jacob was doing there, throwing to the shortstop Linker, who was about 8 feet off to the right of the bag, so just trying to get rid of the baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 4-0 Fort Morgan, bottom of the first inning. Here's the stretch. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball, and Ortega strikes out Mayer. And Arvada's done in the bottom of the first inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. Let's head to the second. It's Fort Morgan 4, Arvada nothing in Arvada on B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the top of the second inning where the Mustangs of Fort Morgan lead Arvada 4-0, 9-1-2 for the Mustangs against left-hander Jason Peterson. It'll be Connor Fajardo, J.P. Hamer, and Jacob Ortega. Fajardo doing a nice job out of the 9-hole, hitting .261. Fort Morgan had a very productive first inning. They took advantage of 3 walks, but also had 3 hits, including the RBI double to get the scoring started by Ortega. Here's the wind and the pitch from the left-hander. Swung on and grounded foul down the third base side on the changeup. No balls and 1 strike. 33 pitches in the opening frame there for Jason Peterson, so he wants to economize a little bit more in the second inning. Yeah, this field, I mean, this grass is as green as it would be in July. I mean, it's in really good shape. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, pull the string there. Fajardo way out in front of the changeup at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes. That's what Coach Langford is telling him right now. Sit back. He got over anxious. And the lefty looks in. The pitch to Fajardo. And the breaking ball bounces in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, you want your breaking ball to have late life. If it's breaking right out of your fingers, and it's too early of a snap of the wrist, and it's much easier to read. And the 1-2. Swung on and chucked the third on 2 hops, and it's played off the third baseman's glove, Sam Gardner, and reaching as Fajardo tried to play it on the short hop. It'll be an error, and that's the second error of the game. Yeah, I think had he stepped in half a step, it would have been a Sunday hop. Instead, it ended up being a short hop, and it's off the heel of his glove. Let's see if Fort Morgan can capitalize here with J.P. Hamer, who singled in the opening frame and scored. The stretch. And the pitch. Fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Hamer. Two-step lead for Fajardo at first. And a snap throw, and he's back in diving. Yeah, the Mustangs have not played a 7-inning game since March 29th. Throw back to first, Fajardo leaning, and the ball is off the first baseman's glove and off the side of the fence. And Fajardo to second. He's headed towards third. The throw is going to be made, and Fajardo slides, and he is going to be out. Fajardo is nailed at third base. Oh, it'll be scored an error, but also Fajardo tagged out at third. As that throw went from the first baseman, Sanford. The error on the pitcher, but then Fajardo nailed at third for the first out of the inning. That'll go 1-3-5 as Gardner applied the tag. And the Mustangs don't want to run themselves into outs, especially at third for the first out of the frame. And the pitch swung on and popped foul and out of play. Count is at 1-1, and that throw was perfect in on a hop from the first baseman, Sanford. One ball, 1 strike. Top of the second, Fort Morgan leads 4-0. And the pitch, and that's upstairs. 2-1 to Hamer. Arvada looking for their 7th win of the season. The Mustangs for their 8th win. And the 2-1 pitch, and the breaking ball bounces to the screen. Yeah, Peterson really wants to mix in that curveball, but it is not working. His fastball and changeup right now are working a little bit better, a lot better than that breaking ball. 3 balls and 1 strike, 21 strikes and 20 balls so far for Peterson. The pitch, and that is inside on the changeup, and it's a walk to Hamer. So the Mustangs have their second base runner of the inning. And that'll bring up McBride. Check that Ortega. McBride is on deck. Ortega laced a double down the left field line. He swings and drives it deep down the left field line, and that one is going to be off the fence around second. And rounding third now and scoring easily is going to be Hamer. It's another RBI double for Jacob Ortega, and the Mustangs lead 5-0 in the top of the second inning. That ball was laced by the sophomore Ortega. And Jacobs had two great at-bats here.
Come on, Jason, battle through, kid.
That'll bring him McBride. He walked and scored his first time up. And the pitch swung on and grounded to short. Ortega to third, looking over there, throwing to first, and that is going to be offline and safe as McBride. So McBride reaches on the throwing error by Olson. And first and third now for Linker, and still only one out. And Arvada certainly helping out Fort Morgan. That's already their fourth error of the game, and the Mustangs are looking to extend the lead. Linker grounded to second, driving in a run his first time up. McBride stole the base his first time on the base pass. Fell back to first, and back in standing is McBride. 4 in the first, 1 so far here in the second for Fort Morgan. Off to a 5-0 lead in Arvada. Isaac Linker awaiting the pitch. Snap throw to first, and back in diving is McBride. And you got to get a good jump because Brennan Bell does have a strong arm behind the plate, so nothing is assumed here. And the offering, and that changeup is low. McBride to second, no throw. Second stolen base for McBride. And now it's 1 ball and no strikes on Isaac Linker here in the top of the second inning. If Linker can wait on that changeup a little bit, he was throwing a changeup and was just out in front the last time up, even though he drove in a run. And Peterson comes home. Swung on and lined towards center field. That's going to be caught. Ortega's going to tag up. Nope, he can at third. He went right back to the bag. That ball was hit that hard. And it's a line shot that's caught by Marin. There's 2 down. Boy, you can't hit that one any better, but Ortega had to get back to the bag. And here is Jimmy Keller. Keller singled in a run and scored in the opening frame. Here's the wind and the pitch. And that one is down low in the dirt, in fact, on the changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Jimmy Keller. And Peterson delivers. Changeup low again. 2 balls and no strikes. Oh, this could be a hitter's pitch. Down 2-0 in the count is Peterson. Swung on and driven deep to left field, and coming in and making the grab for the final out for Arvada is Tanner Vaughn, and the Mustangs score only 1 here in the top of the second inning. The Mustangs score that run, and they do it on a base hit. There were 3 errors and 2 men left. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning. It's Fort Morgan 5, Arvada nothing on B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the bottom of the second inning. Fort Morgan 5, Arvada nothing. Sam Gardner, Arden Sanford, and Tanner Vaughn against right-hander Jacob Ortega. 5 runs on 4 hits for the Mustangs, no runs on 2 hits for the Bulldogs. Here's the wind and pitch, and that's up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Gardner awaits from the right side. And the pitch, and he's shorter on that. That's not a good-looking pitch there. Jacob changed everything about that, and then it bounced to the screen, 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. And the offering, that's upstairs, 3-0. Threw him a 2-0 changeup, which when you're trying to get back into the count, go with your number 1 pitch. And the 3-0 offering. That's down the middle for a strike. At the knees, it's 3-1. 5-0 Fort Morgan, bottom of the second inning. And the offering. And that is on, just outside. It's a walk to Gardner. And Jacob right now not in command. 13 strikes and 12 balls to his first 25 pitches. And what is a methodical moving game so far. 5-0 Mustangs, bottom 2. And Arden Sanford about to step in. All right, here's the stretch by Ortega. 2-step lead at first, and the pitch. He's short-arming that, man, on that changeup in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Laying down the sign is Fajardo, and the pitch. Oh, did it again. 2-0. Now he's got more balls thrown than strikes here, despite a 5-0 lead in the second. Off of first is Gardner. Ortega with a 2-0. Much better. Swung on, grounded right side for a base hit into right field beyond the lunging Musman. Boy, that was simply a hard ground ball, and that's 3 hits for Arvada in less than 2 innings. And for the second straight inning, they've got first and second with nobody out. And here's Tanner Vaughn. So here is Vaughn inside the batter's box. Another right-handed hitter for Arvada. Ortega looks back, and the pitch squaring to bunt, and he takes it for a strike with a changeup on the outer half at the knees. It's 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. And the wheel play's being put on, but Musman back to second off that throw. The third baseman, Apple, was coming in, and the shortstop, Linker, was covering third. Nothing doing there. No balls, 1 strike. Nobody out, bottom 2. Fort Morgan 5, Arvada nothing. Ortega looks back. And the pitch to Vaughn, squaring to bunt, and he takes it low on that changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, once Jacob starts getting ahead of hitters, I think he'll feel more comfortable out there. But that was the case in the first inning. To the top 2 hitters, swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one. On the pitch, down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Vaughn. At second is Gardner's. Sanford at first. Fajardo lays down the sign. And the pitch, swing and a miss, and a breaking ball down and away. And it's strikeout number 2 for Ortega, out number 1 here in the bottom of that half for the second inning. Excuse me. And, yeah, I don't know, Brennan Bell he had his shin guards on. I'm not sure why, because there was nobody out in the inning. He was going to bat unless Vaughn hit into a triple play. But anyway, he's inside the batter's box now. Proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. Equitable Savings and Loan. Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Throw back to second, and the ball gets into center field, but it's backed up by J.P. Hamer. I mean, there was no play there at all. Gardner was going to be on the bag. Well, let's see if Jacob goes after the hitter like he did to Vaughn. I know you want to keep him close, but there was, even though that throw is perfect and the shortstop's there, they're not going to nail him. The pitch squaring to bunt, lays it down the first base side, foul. No balls and 1 strike. So both teams have attempted to play some small ball here in the first couple of innings. It hasn't worked out for Arvada the way they wanted to. We'll find out if Bell still has the bunt sign. The stretch. Ortega comes home, and that is a little bit low and away. Man, that barely missed. Whew. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's a tight zone there. 1-1 here to Brennan Bell. That's what will extend the games. The offering, squaring to bunt, breaking ball is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now you got to come in with a pitch to this number 8 hitter. The Mustangs lead the Bulldogs of Arvada 5-0 in Arvada. Runners take their leads. And the 2-1 squaring to bunt, and he fouls it back. That ball was tailing inside. In fact, it might have hit Bell had he not had he not placed the bat out there, and it's 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Let's see if Jacob goes maybe with that breaking ball. And the offering. Swing and a miss. It was a curveball down and away. Late bite to that. Second consecutive strikeout for Ortega as he fans Bell. 2 down in the second. Strikeout number 3 for Ortega. Here's Jacober, the number 9 hitter. And the offering. Swung on and chopped left side. Linker to his right. Will throw the short way to second for the out. Boy, a nice play by Linker. He was in the hole. And they get the force, eliminating Sanford at second. No runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left. 2 complete with the score. Fort Morgan 5, Arvada nothing on B106 and B106.com. All right, 5-0 in favor of Fort Morgan over Arvada. As we head to the 3rd inning, Mustangs scored 4 in the first and 1 in the second. And they will be sending up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Alex Ortega, Austin Apple, and Devin Mussman. Well, let's see if the Mustangs, who scored in each of the first 2 innings, can just extend the lead and shorten this game. The left-hander Peterson delivers. Swung on. That is drilled into deep left center field. That one will take a bounce. That one is up against the fence. Ortega's around first, and he's into second with a leadoff double here in the 3rd. And Ortega, who walked in his first plate appearance, is now in scoring position for Austin Apple, who had a sacrifice bunt. All right, so a good start for Fort Morgan here in the 3rd inning. And the pitch and the changeup is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Apple awaits the pitch, and he swings and fouls it off the end of the bat to the screen. Mustangs now have 5 hits in the game. 3 of those are doubles, 2 by Jacob Ortega, that one by Alex Ortega. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on. Bell lays down the sign, and the pitch swung on and foul to the backstop. Count moves to 1-2. Western Engineering Consultants provide civil engineering services for aviation, municipal, commercial, and residential clients in Colorado. That's Western Engineering Consultants. And the pitch swung on and fouled straight back. Challenged it with a fastball. Temperature in the 70s in Arvada. And the pitch and the breaking ball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 2. With Devin Mussman waiting to hit next. Off of second is Ortega, about a 4-step lead. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on a fastball well above the letters. And there's 1 down here in the 3rd. And that'll bring up Mussman, who struck out looking his first time up. That's strikeout number 2 for Jason Peterson. The pitch. Fastball is up and in. Overthrew that a bit. 1 ball and no strikes. Peterson has walked 3 in the game. And a huge lead for Ortega, and Peterson has to step off. Peterson back on the bump there, 1-0 pitch. And that is taken inside with a changeup, 2-0. Fajardo waiting to hit next. When you're looking for someone to walk you through the insurance world, turn to the office of Greg Mullen and Brush, Home Auto Life and Health. State Farm Insurance at 842-4555 in Brush. Swung on and fouled back. He went with a breaking ball. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, the Mustangs had the wake-up call. They certainly had that wake-up call almost 2 weeks ago, losing to then winless Brush 7-5, and since then, Fort Morgan has outscored their opponents 32-0. And the pitch squaring to bunt, and he lays it up the first base side. That's going to be a gorgeous bunt. Peterson bare hands, flings to first, and that's going to be late and off the glove of the first baseman. It'll be an infield hit. I think even a perfect throw would have been a bang-bang play, so let's give Musman the base hit. And now first and third with 1 out, and here is Connor Fajardo, who reached on an air his first time up. And again, let's see if the trail runner takes off from first. But Musman's got to be careful against the left-hander with a pretty good move. We're in the top of the third inning. And the pitch. And that changeup is low. 1 ball and no strikes to Fajardo. Fort Morgan looking to mount another threat like they had in each of the first 2 innings when they scored 4 in the first and 1 in the second. Runner goes, and it's fouled on the suicide squeeze. Yeah, those are things you got to work on. And that was a very buntable pitch. That was around letter high. But he had the bat a little bit too high, and it got a piece of the bottom of the bat. And that's the pitch you want to bunt. You don't want to bunt breaking balls. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. 5-0 Mustangs in the third. The offering swung on, hit off the end of the bat on the ground to short. The short way for 1, and back to first will be late. That'll score a run as Alex Ortega scores. Olsen to shin on the 6-4, and Fort Morgan now leads 6-0. Yeah, that ball was not hit hard enough for a double play. And here is the leadoff hitter in this lineup, J.P. Hamer. He is 1 for 1, singled and walked. So the Mustangs have tallied at least 1 run in each of the first 3 innings. Peterson delivers, swung on and chopped foul up the third base side. Another changeup there thrown by Peterson. No balls and 1 strike. The Mustangs are outscoring Arvada 6-0, out-hitting Arvada 6-3. And the pitch, and that changeup is low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike with 2 down and 1 on. The stretch by Peterson, and the pitch, runner going, and it's down and in, no throw there. Perfect pitch to run on by Connor Fajardo. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Premier Farm Credit, been serving Northeast Colorado and rural communities for over 100 years. Premier Farm Credit. That bounces in and bounces away to the screen. And the third will be Fajardo on the wild pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here to J.P. Hamer with Ortega, very dangerous hitter on deck as he's proven in his first 2 plate appearances. Here's the wind and the pitch, and that's taken for a... Yep, that's a ball. I don't know. Boy, Hamer must have thought it was a strike as he just stood there, but the indication was it was outside. And here is Ortega, who's got 2 run-scoring doubles. And there'll be a visit to the hill, and we're going to have a pitching change. Let's take a 2-minute break with the score. Fort Morgan 6, Arvada nothing. We're in the top of the third on B106 and B106.com. Levi Mayer is the new pitcher. The starting pitcher, Jason Peterson, now to center field. We're in the top of the third inning. 2 on, 2 out, 1 across. Fort Morgan leads in Arvada over the Bulldogs 6-0. And a perfect time to make the pitching change because Jacob Ortega has a pair of 2-run doubles here for Fort Morgan. And he has snapped out of an early season slump. This is a side-winding right-hander, so certainly an adjustment to be made here by the hitters. And the pitch. And he takes a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. With runners at the corners and 2 down here in the third. Ortega waits the pitch. And here it is. And he takes it right there for a strike down the middle. Count levels at 1-1. Fajardo at third. The speedy Hamer at first. Bell lays down the sign. The pitch. Fastball is inside. Delayed steal, no throw. So it is 2-1 here to Jacob Ortega. He's had obviously an outstanding game at the plate, looking for more. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bell lays down the sign. Runners take their leads out of the stretch. And Mayer delivers. Swung on and popped up on the right side in the infield. Should be a routine play, and it is to retire Jacob Ortega, as it was caught out there by Andrew Shin. And the inning is over for the Mustangs. They do score a run, and Fort Morgan does it on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. The Mustangs, despite a hefty lead, have stranded 5. It's Fort Morgan 6, Arvada nothing after 2.5 on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs lead 6-0 over Arvada here going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. I'm John Beltran. It'll be the 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Andrew Shin, Aeneas Olson, and Jason Peterson, against right-hander Jacob Ortega, who still really hasn't found his groove, but has thrown 2 scoreless innings. He's allowed 3 hits through 38 pitches, 21 strikes, and 17 balls. And to give you an idea how slowly this game is going, we played an hour, and we're not even through the 3rd inning yet. A 1-2-3 inning would certainly accelerate things. Shin singled in the opening frame. Swung on and grounded left side. Linker plays it off the heel of his glove as he tried to backhand it, and Shin will reach on the air. So the Mustangs commit their first miscue of the game. That one by Linker. And that'll bring up Aeneas Olson. He singled his first time up. Yeah, this game is far from over. Arvada's making some pretty good contact here. And they've had the leadoff man on. Runner goes. No, that was a bluff. The change up for a strike. Well, that was a heck of a bluff there by Andrew Shin. No balls and 1 strike. They've had the leadoff man on in each of the first 3 innings. The stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball is fouled off to the right. And the count moves to 0-2 to Aeneas Olson. Be nice to get this defense in rhythm, too, turning a double play. Linker made an excellent play to close out the 2nd inning. Throw back to first, back in diving is Shin. Again, you can follow us on Twitter at B106 and the B106 Facebook page. Ortega comes home. Breaking ball is taken. Yep. Oh, he took a swing at it. It's a strike. Olson strikes out. It was a check swing, but ruled a swing at the plate. And Jacob Ortega records his 4th strikeout. Here's Jason Peterson, who popped to the catcher his first time up. So Peterson steps in from the right side. 2-step lead for Shin. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. Runner goes to second, the slide, and he's in there. Boy, that was an excellent throw by Fajardo, considering that ball was in the dirt. And he still made a play out of that. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, you can't do much more if you're a catcher. Quick release, quick throw, and it was right there. Had that been a fastball or something down the middle, I think he would have nailed Shin. The pitch swung on and chopped left side. That's into left field for a base hit. But Shin could only advance a base here as the throw is caught off by Apple. And for Arvada, that's their 4th hit off Ortega. And now they're threatening here in the bottom of the third, trailing 6-0 for Levi Mayer. Mayer did strike out swinging his first time up. Now let's see if Peterson takes off from first. You got speed at third. Ortega comes home, runner goes, swung on and missed on the breaking ball. The throw goes through to second, but it's caught off by the shortstop, Linker. And 2 runners in scoring position, stolen base for Peterson. No balls and 1 strike as Arvada is trying to slice into the 6-run Fort Morgan lead. Fajardo lays down the sign. And the pitch, and he's short on that one. It skips to the screen. Here comes Shin, and no throw. The wild pitch played Shin. It's 6-1 Fort Morgan. That'll bring, check that. Levi Mayer now up there with a 1-1 count. Yeah, Jacob just not quite in rhythm. Far from his last start, the pitch swung on and lifted into shallow right center field. To his right is Ortega. Alex makes the catch. Peterson tags at third. The throw's up the third baseline, and it hits the runner. Peterson will score on the sac fly by Levi Mayer. It's now 6-2. But the Mustangs do get the out. Looked like it got him on the wrist. I tell you what, if that throw is on line, there would have been a play at the plate. But instead, Peterson scores easily. Sam Gardner walked his first time up. So Arvada has gotten 2 of the 6 runs back that they've relinquished to Fort Morgan. And the pitch, and that is just outside. Man, that's a tight zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Now Ortega's wondering, he knows it missed on the outside, but, you know, that all depends upon the umpire's zone, the pitch. And he took something off of that. It's 2-0. It's upstairs. And he slowed down his arm motion for that pitch as well, which is much easier to detect out of his hand. And the 2-0. Swung on and lifted into deep center field, but Hamer is right there a few steps back and makes the catch. And Arvada is retired in the bottom of the third inning. Not before they scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There was a Mustang error, and the bases were left empty. 3 complete. Fort Morgan 6, Arvada 2 on B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the 4th inning in Arvada. The Mustangs lead the Arvada Bulldogs 6-2. Trey McBride leads off for the Mustangs. He'll be followed by Isaac Linker and Jimmy Keller against right-hander Levi Mayer, beginning his first inning of work.
I was trying to find that Rick and Morty.
McBride has walked and reached on an error. He's 0 for 1. And the pitch swung on and popped up into shallow left center field. Long run for Peterson. Shortstop going out. It's going to drop right behind the shortstop. And in front of Peterson, that'll be a base hit for McBride. As Peterson did not take control, Olsen really didn't have much of a play on that ball. And the Mustangs pick up a cheap hit there, their 7th hit of the game. And McBride came into this game hitting .645 because he's been so good. His average has gone down despite getting a hit. And congratulations to Trey, an inductee on Monday night to the National Football Foundation Colorado Chapter Hall of Fame. The pitch is swung on and fouled back. Linker's 0 for 2. That's a great honor for McBride. Also honored on Monday night in that NFF Colorado Chapter Hall of Fame was former Mustang Joel Dreesen, a 2000 graduate, on one of the 2 best teams in the history of Fort Morgan High School football. The 99 championship team, which went 14-0, as did the 92 team. McBride looks like he's about to take off, and he does. And that breaking ball outside, the throw to second up the second base side. McBride is in standing with a stolen base. 1 ball and 1 strike to Isaac Linker. And I don't know what the distraction is out there with the second baseman, Shin, but apparently everything's okay now. 6-2 Fort Morgan. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Jacob Ortega has been the hitting star with a couple of RBI doubles. Linker has an RBI in this game, the offering. Swung on line, base hit into center field. McBride held up for a second, but he's going to round third and score easily. Linker headed around first. He'll stay right there. And Isaac Linker's second RBI as the ball gets loose of the infield gives Fort Morgan a 7-2 lead. And Linker advances to second on another error. That'll be on the center fielder Peterson on the errant throw. Jimmy Keller singled and lined out. He's driven in a run. He's 1 for 2. So the Mustangs have gotten a run back that they gave up in the bottom of the third. And Fort Morgan has scored a run in every inning. 4 in the first and 1 in the second, third, and 1 so far here in the fourth. Pitch to Keller, and he takes a changeup down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Mustangs and Englewood Pirates, weather permitting, on Friday. I'll be at All-Star Park in Lakewood coming up next Wednesday against the Alameda Pirates. And the pitch, and that's inside. Tried to throw a bender in there. Backed Keller off the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Off of second is Isaac Linker. Pitch to Keller, runner bluffs, and it's in the dirt. No throw back to second. It's 3-0. And watch out because Ortega's on deck. And in his last at bat, he drilled a double and later scored. The Mustangs are trying to break it open here in the fourth. Up 7-2 with nobody out and 1 on. Keller awaits a 3-0 pitch, and that is on the inside corner for a strike. Took something off it. It's 3-1. Three and 1 here to Jimmy Keller. Linker with a 4-step lead. The pitch, and that is up and away, and Keller walks. That's been one of the issues here with Arvada pitching. Yeah, Peterson did walk 4. Levi Mayer now issues a walk here to Keller. Here's Alex Ortega, walked and doubled. A big fly from him could really put this game away. And the pitch, and he squares the bunt, but he fouls it straight back. And Fort Morgan's bunting in this game has been so-so at best. Devin Mussman had an excellent bunt. Then they had another bunt that was pretty good, but they fouled off a number of those as well. No balls and 1 strike. And he was bunting for a base hit because the infield is back at the corners. Tried to drag that down the third baseline. Linker and Keller on the bases. Mayer delivers, and that breaking ball skips to the screen, and it deflects off the umpire on the ricochet. Linker to third, Keller to second. And now 2 in scoring position, and 1 ball and 1 strike, so no bunt here. Ortega will be swinging away with nobody out in the fourth inning. Fort Morgan won their previous 2 Colorado 7 league games by a combined 23-0 score. But Arvada providing a challenge here at home. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 across already in the fourth inning. Bell lays down the sign, and the right-hander delivers, and that's down and away off the glove of the catcher. No advance up the first base side. Ball 2, strike 1 here to Ortega. The line score now, 7 runs on 8 hits for Fort Morgan. They've committed an error and left 5 on base. 2 runs on 4 hits, 5 miscues for Arvada. And they have left 3 on the base paths. 2 balls and 1 strike. The side-arming right-hander delivers. Swung on and drilled into the left center field gap. That'll drop for a base hit. 1 run will score. Keller's around second. And it's a 2-run single for Alex Ortega. And the Mustangs have played at 3 in the top of the fourth inning. They now lead 9-2. Oh, this could be more productive than the first inning. Here's Austin Apple, a sac bunt, and he struck out. He's 0 for 1. And Fort Morgan has their biggest advantage. And again, looking to make this an abbreviated game. But they still need to score more. Mayer comes home squaring a bunt, and it's laid down foul up the third base side on a ball that was tailing in to the right-handed hitter Apple. No balls and 1 strike. Not a very good pitch to bunt. That was really on the inner half, even closer to the inner half. No balls and 1 strike. The stretch and the pitch, and that's down and in. Took something off at 1-1. Here to Austin Apple. Off of first is Ortega. Huge lead. Now he takes off, and the pitch is taken for a ball in the dirt, and he took off well before Mayer came to the plate, so it's an easy steal. And let me tell you, he got such a jump. Had he stepped off, I think Ortega might have still made it into second. And thank goodness Apple took that pitch, because if you line it to somebody, it's an easy double play. And the 2-1. Swung on and fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Mustangs lead 9-2 in the top of the 4th inning. In Arvada. Bulldogs are looking for their first Colorado 7 league win of the season, but they'll have to rally here. Apple digs in, throw to second, back in diving is Ortega. It'll be a 2-2 pitch when play resumes here to Austin Apple. And the pitch and the breaking ball is upstairs. Boy, that barely missed. 3-2. Boy, that's as close a pitch as you can take. That's not called a strike. Off of second, Ortega. Mayer delivers. That is outside, just missed. An Apple walk, second walk issued in the inning by Mayer, but again, it's a tight strike zone. It's been like that the entire game. This is a hitter's zone. And that'll send up Devin Musman. Musman struck out and then had a bunt single. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out in the 4th inning. Bell lays down the sign. Pitch to Musman, scoring to bunt, and he pops it up, and a dive, and is it caught? It's caught by the pitcher, throw back to second, and back in diving over there for the Mustangs safely, as the first out is recorded, is Alex Ortega. That was a dive along the first base line by the pitcher, Mayer, and there's 1 down. So an unsuccessful bunt attempt by Devin Musman after a successful bunt his second time up. Well, you can't blame the Mustangs for trying, but they've got to execute a lot better with a small ball. Here's Fajardo. The pitch, swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. No balls and 1 strike. He's reached on an air and grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice. 0 for 2 is Fajardo. Ortega leads off of second. Apple's the trail runner at first. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is inside. Little slider there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Coming up tonight, we'll have the Nuggets and Timberwolves at 6 o'clock. That'll be on our sister station, 1010 KSIR. And the pitch swung on and hit on the ground on the left side. The shortstop charging Olsen throws to first, and that is going to be in time. And retired is Fajardo. He thought he was safe over there, but got him by a fraction of a step. And there's 2 down. The runners advance to second and third. That was a bang-bang play over at first. And now with 2 down, here's J.P. Hamer, who singled and walked twice. And the Mustangs have already stranded 5 here in the first 3 frames. And have got 2 more in scoring position, despite scoring 3 runs so far in this frame. Ortega off of third, Apple at second. And that changeup is a strike at the knees. No balls and 1 strike to J.P. Hamer. Yeah, he got the rally started in the opening frame with that single, and then Ortega followed with a double. And the offering swung on and driven into deep left center field. Peterson is way back towards the track. It takes 1 hop, and it's off the bottom of the fence. Apple will score. He's the second runner scoring on that 2-run double by J.P. Hamer, and the Mustangs have now played at 5 in the inning and lead Arvada 11-2. And it's been a barrage of doubles by Fort Morgan in this game, including 2 by this hitter, Ortega. Jacob has driven in a couple of runs. The right-hander, Mayer delivers, and that hit Ortega on the left shoulder. And that'll send up Trey McBride, who had a Texas leaguer, and that's his only base hit. McBride is coming off not his best RBI game 2 games ago against Weld Central. That's his second best. Last year against Skyview, he drove in 8, and that was on the road. Against Weld Central, the 7 RBIs on the road. So runners at first and second with 2 down and 5 across here in the 4th inning, and Fort Morgan leading Arvada 11-2. Levi Mayer, the side-arming throw right-hander. Runner takes off for third, and the pitch is in the dirt. It'll be a double steal there, and the ball is behind the plate, but flagged down by Bell. So Hamer with a steal. And now McBride with a shot to drive in a couple of more runs. 1 ball and no strikes. Runners take their leads. And the pitch swung on and grounded to short. That's a hard hop. It's into left center field. Ortega's going to round third as the ball gets loose in left field. McBride to second to throw and late. And then the ball gets loose again off the side of the fence on the first base side. And McBride to third. Wow. Boy, that ball was hit very hard. We'll score that a hit, but that thing was hit extremely hard. I'm not sure how that will be scored in the dugout because it was towards Shin. He tried to backhand it. But the Mustangs now lead 13-2. And they have now scored 7 in the frame. Yeah, I don't think Shin knew how hard that ball was hit, and he wasn't sure how to play it. Tried to backhand it, and it took a huge hop into left center field. Pitch to Linker, way outside. Linker's 1 for 3. He's driven in 2. He singled his last time up. Yeah, when McBride hits the ball, you want the ball to be hit in the air so you have a chance to catch it. On the ground, he hits it with a lot of sting. And the pitch swung on and lifted down the right field line. That could be trouble. Jacobra along the line can't make the play. It's a base hit. Linker around first. He's into second. McBride scores. The slide it is. An RBI double with 2 outs. And the Mustangs have plated 8 runs in the 4th inning and now lead Arvada 14-2. And now, stepping in, will be Jimmy Keller. This will be the 12th hitter of the inning. Keller 1 for 2, singled, lined out and walked the pitch. And that went behind him, off the glove, but McBride no advance. I don't think he was able to see the ball. And he holds up at second base. Or check that Linker, not McBride. McBride just scored. 1 ball and no strikes. Arvada's not helped themselves, though, with 6 errors in the game. Off of second is Linker. Pitch to Keller. He swings and pops it up. The shortstop, Aeneas Olson, on the edge of the grass, makes the catch. And the Mustangs are finally retired in the top of the 4th inning. However, they put a hurting on the scoreboard. 8 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, and a man left. 3.5 complete in Arvada. It's Fort Morgan 14, Arvada 2 on B106 and B106.com. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. In Arvada, the Mustangs lead 14-2 over the Bulldogs, and Fort Morgan just broke it open with 8 runs in the top of the 4th inning as they generated 6 hits and capitalized on a couple of errors. And for Arvada, it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Arden Sanford, Tanner Vaughn, and Brennan Bell against Jacob Ortega, who has labored through 3 innings, thrown exactly 50 pitches, struck out 4, walked 1, allowed 4 hits, and that changeup is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Sanford singled his first time up. Arvada's had the leadoff man on in each of the first 3 innings. The pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss. Boy, that had some late bend to it, and the count is leveled at 1 strike.
Deep breath, Arden. Relax.
Here's the wine and offering. Fastball is low. Ball 2, strike 1. Here to Arden Sanford. The right-hander Ortega gets the sign in the pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Watch out in the Arvada dugout. Count is at 2-2. If Fort Morgan does not allow 3 runs or more, then this game will be over in 5. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1 down as Sanford is retired. Strikeout number 5 for Jacob Ortega. Here's Tanner Vaughn, who struck out swinging his first time up. The wind by the sophomore. The pitch swung on and grounded left side. The third baseman, Apple, on the slide, throws to first for the out. Boy, he slid to a knee, and Austin Apple makes the play. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And this is what Ortega is looking for, a quick inning. Brennan Bell, the catcher, has been very busy behind the plate, and now he steps into the batter's box. Struck out swinging his first time up. And the pitch by Ortega. And the bender is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. 14 runs on 12 hits for the Mustangs. 2 runs on 4 hits for Arvada. Arvada's committed 6 of the 7 errors in the game. The pitch swung on and fouled to the screen off the end of the bat on the changeup. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 down and the bases empty in the 4th inning. And operating to the number 8 hitter is Ortega, that is. He throws that one in the dirt. Yeah, he's got it. That's the one thing he did not do against Wold Central that he's done here a few pitches. He'll short arm it and change his delivery altogether. And that's never successful. 2-1. He does there, and that's drilled into the left center field gap. Hamer to his right dives, and he cannot make the catch. And the ball's going to bounce all the way towards the fence. Keller's got it. The throw is back into the infield. It's a 2-out double for Brennan Bell. And the inning continues here for Arvada. Hamer nearly made a spectacular catch. And Arvada comes up with its 5th hit of the game. And Jacober, the 9th place hitter, steps in. He grounded into a 6-4 fielder's choice his first time up. We'll have a courtesy runner. That'll be Josiah Martinez running for Arvada. What? Supposed to, or no? Nope, I guess that's not going to be the case. It'll still be Bell out there. Here's the stretch by Ortega. Pitch to Jacober. Swung on and fouled off the end of the bat at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Mustangs just 4 outs away if they can keep this offense from scoring 3 runs, and Fort Morgan still has another at bat in the 5th. Ortega looks back, throw back to second, and it's off the second baseman Mussman's glove into center, backed up by Hamer. Yeah, this has not been the cleanest of games for the Mustangs. The pickoff play has been ugly a couple of times, but they got to keep working on it to perfect it. Even in a 12-run game, the pitch, that one bounces off the chest protector. Fajardo, nice play. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's been very good behind the plate today, considering some of those pitches in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on, 2 down. 14-2 Mustangs in the bottom of the 4th. Jacob delivers. Swung on, grounded left side. Apple fields it on the second. Shortstop fires to first. And a nice play by Austin Apple. And Arvada's done in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We head to the 5th in 60 seconds with the score. Fort Morgan 14, Arvada 2 on B106 and B106.com. Let's head to the 5th inning. Fort Morgan in the lead 14-2 over Arvada. And for the Mustangs, They will have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Alex Ortega, Austin Apple, and Devin Mussman. Arvada's used just 2 pitchers in this game. And the starter, Jace Peterson, and then Levi Mayer. Alex Ortega's walked, doubled, and singled. He's sitting at 2 for 2. So Fort Morgan is looking to extend the lead to make this their 3rd consecutive 5-inning game. All they got to do is hold down Arvada in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bobby Tolson will now hit for the Mustangs to lead off the 5th inning. Yeah, so Coach Langford might be clearing the bench a bit. So Tolson making a plate appearance for Fort Morgan with a 14-2 advantage. He was a starting and winning pitcher on Saturday in the 12-0 win over Conifer. All right, the lineup card has been adjusted. And here is Tolson to begin the 5th inning off Levi Mayer. Operating out of the stretch with the bases empty. And the pitch swung on and popped up. That's a shallow pop-up, and that's going to be caught by the pitcher who tumbles over the 3rd baseman Gardner. Everybody's okay as Mayer makes the catch. Boy, that didn't have much trajectory on it. And that could have been very dangerous there, but Mayer makes the play for the opening out. That's the reason in the majors, even though it's kind of a stupid thing, that pitchers are not fielders on plays like that. Austin Apple, a sac bunt, a strikeout, and a walk. He's 0 for 1. Fort Morgan scored 4 runs in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 8 in the 4th. The pitch swung on and chopped foul up the 3rd base side. Counted no balls and 1 strike. The Mustangs with a victory would go to 3-0 in Colorado 7 league play, 8-3 overall. They'll have no trouble with Englewood, assuming that game is played on Friday with the weather getting worse. And I hate to be that presumptuous, but Englewood is winless on the season and has not been competitive in virtually all their games. And the pitch and the breaking ball is upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Austin Apple. 1 out and nobody on in the 5th inning. And the pitch swung on and fouled straight back. Count moves to 1-2 to the Mustang 3rd baseman. Mr. D's Farm and Home Center, your headquarters for your home, farm, and ranch supplies. From plumbing to feed, Sterling Brush in Fort Morgan, Mr. D's Farm and Home Center. And the pitch hits the elbow of Apple. So he reaches on the hit by pitch, 2nd Mustang to get hit by a pitch. And Devin Mussman, who struck out looking, then bunted for a single, then popped up a bunt, will now bat. Yeah, I don't know if Coach Langford would now play small ball with a 12-run lead. Normally the small ball is in a closer game, then you swing away once the lead is a little bit larger. 2-step lead over at first, and the pitch swung on and fisted foul to the backstop. No balls and 1 strike. Little sidearm changeup thrown by that right-hander, Levi Mayer, for Arvada. 1 out, 1 on in the 5th inning. Fort Morgan leads Arvada 14-2. Apple with a 2.5-step lead. Mayer stretches. And the pitch in the dirt. Nice block over there by Bell. Count level at 1-1. After today, Fort Morgan has 5 regular season games remaining before the conference tournament. 4 of those are conference games, and then the other one is a non-conference against Longmont. Throw back to first. Back in diving is Apple. Boy, if we could have more April and May days like this, you'd have true baseball weather. As nice as it gets today in Arvada. Mussman awaits the pitch, and he takes a changeup below the knees Ball 2, strike 1. Fajardo, let's see if he's on deck. He would be making his 4th plate appearance. We've already had a pinch hitter in the inning, and that changeup is down and in, 3-1. Here to Devin Mussman. Apple off of first. And Mussman awaits the pitch, and that's down and in as well on the changeup. It's a walk to Mussman. First and second, and here is Fajardo, who has reached on an error. Hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice and then grounded to short, so he is 0 for 3. All the contact on the left side for Fajardo. And Fort Morgan, which has scored in each of the first 4 frames, does not have a run across here in the 5th. Apple off of second, Mussman at first. And the pitch, swung on line, foul. Woo! That's lined about 40 feet foul down the left side. Way out in front of the changeup. It is 0-1. And Jason Peterson is shaded towards left center. Huge gap in right center. The Mustangs have not hit a lot of balls the other way. A lot of their stuff has gone to left center. The offering swung on and grounded left side. Off the glove of the third baseman, fielded by the shortstop Shin. That'll be a base hit. And the bases are loaded for Fort Morgan. A base hit by Fajardo. And for the Mustangs, that is their 13th hit of the game. As Gardner made a lunge for it, but just got a piece of the baseball in that lunge. And Felix Ortega will be the pinch hitter for the Mustangs. Hitting in J.P. Hamer's slot, and Hamer had one heck of a game. Hamer 2 for 2, 3-run scored, a double, and a couple of RB. Flimsy piece of paper and putting it back into a wallet. That seems very 1980-ish. Nonetheless, bases loaded. 1 down for Ortega, 14-2 Fort Morgan here in the top of the 5th inning. And the pitch, and it's taken for a strike on the outer half at the knees. No balls and 1 strike. Apple, Mussman, and Fajardo on the bases. Again, Levi Mayer comes home, and that ball, I think it clipped the hitter. I think it got Ortega on the back, and it did. Yeah, but he got a piece of the jersey. The hit batsman's going to score a run. Austin Apple will cross home plate. That is a hit batsman. It's 15-2. And here's Ortega, who's got a couple of... Are they going to hit for him? Or nope, Ortega will be in there with a couple of 2-run doubles. He's popped out.
Connie, be ready.
And he was hit by a pitch as well. So the Mustangs have built the lead here in the 5th inning. The wind by Mayer, the pitch, swung on and fouled straight back. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Jacob Ortega, his 5th plate appearance of the game. Out of the windup is Mayer. No balls and 1 strike to Ortega with the runners taking small leads, and that bounces in again, blocked by Bell. And the count leveled at 1-1. And the Mustangs have had a lot of double-digit scoring games here recently. 12 against Conifer, 11 against Welch Central, 15 so far here today. And awaiting the 1-1 pitch is Ortega. And he swings and pops it up down the left field line. Let's see if it stays fair. And that one is drifting, and it's inside the line. Nope, or they call it foul. Okay, it is foul. Just foul. So it's 1-2. Here to Ortega. Levi Mayer's battled out there. He's thrown 53 pitches already. And McBride is on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Ortega. Officially 2 for 3 in the game. And the offering. Swung on and driven into deep right field. Jacober's back. He's got room. He makes the catch. Tagging up at third is Mussman. Mussman will score. Fajardo to third. It's a sacrifice fly by Ortega. He's driven in 3 runs in the game, and the Mustangs now lead 16-2. And that'll bring up McBride. Trey with a couple of base hits and 2 RBIs. Although that last base hit, it might be changed in the dugout. And that ball, he skips over that ball before it was about to hit him. Trey avoided being hit by the pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. And McBride wants to hit. Yeah, because he hit the last one, a very sharp grounder towards short, and Shin tried to backhand it, and then went into left center field. I scored it a 2-run single. I don't know if the book has it in there. That's grounded foul down the third base side. So that could affect his average if it's a different scoring play in the dugout where the official book is held. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, 2 on, and the Mustangs do have 2 across here in the 5th inning. Pitch to McBride. Swing and a miss on a sweeping breaking ball. It's 1-2. He got over anxious there and out in front of that pitch. Fajardo at third, Felix Ortega at first. And Levi Mayer comes home. Swung on, that ball is drilled into deep left field, way back, and that is a 3-run jack for Trey McBride, his 3rd home run of the season, all on the road. And the Mustangs now lead 19-2. And McBride is driven in 5 unofficially. And that one was tagged by the senior. That'll bring up Isaac Linker. 2 for 4, grounded out, lined out, singled, and doubled. Yeah, Levi Mayer will stay in. And McBride, he just timed out. He made the adjustment from the previous pitch, which he was out in front of. Need a new windshield. Well, they've got it for you at Smart Parts in Sterling. The Mustangs played at 8 runs in the 4th inning. They've got 5 here in the 5th. And Linker awaits the stretch now by Mayer. And the offering. And that ball went behind him. 1 ball and no strikes. The Mustangs have been hit by, I believe, 3 pitches. All Arvada wants to do is just get out of this inning. That's all they're looking for at this point. 1 ball and no strikes to Isaac Linker, who is 2 for 4. And the offering. And that is just outside, 2-0. This is the 8th hitter of the inning for Fort Morgan. 2 balls and no strikes. Linker will be swinging away, you would think. The offering, but that's in the dirt, and it's 3-0. With Jimmy Keller waiting to hit next. Levi Mayer thrown 61 pitches in a game in relief of Jason Peterson. 3-0, and that's inside. It's a walk to Linker. He's on base for the 3rd time. And here is Keller. Eight walks. Yeah, that's 4. Yeah, that's 4. That's 4. The umpire thought it was 3. That's 4. That should be. Yeah, I got 4 balls on that one. That is a walk. Yeah, that's a walk. Apparently the umpire got confused. He thought there were 3 balls in the batter, but that was indeed a 4th ball. Oh, it's been a long couple of innings here. Jimmy Keller singled, lined out, walked, and popped out. He's 1 for 3. Keller has driven in a run. Here's the stretch. And the pitch swung on and chopped left side. That's a base hit into left field. Rounding second is Linker. He's going to hold up right there. One base at a time is what Coach Langford is instructing in what is a 17-run lead for Fort Morgan. And for the Mustangs, unofficially, their 15th hit. And Bobby Tolson will hit again in this frame. He popped out to begin the inning to the pitcher, Mayer. So this will be the 10th hitter of the frame for Fort Morgan. First and second for the Mustangs with 2 down in the 5th inning. And the pitch. And that one bounces in and gets away, but no advance. Again, blocked by Bell. 1 ball and no strikes. A gorgeous day here, and the result that the Mustangs certainly want. Up 19-2. They were up 4-0 after half an inning. And they haven't looked back from there. And awaiting the pitches, Bobby Tolson. Here it is. And he swings and fouls it off his right foot. 1 ball and 1 strike. Englewood, Skyview, Fort Lupton, Alameda, and Longmont remain on the regular season schedule for Fort Morgan. Englewood is the next game in Fort Morgan coming up on Friday. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a pitch to Tolson. And he takes it down and away with a breaking ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is just an inning that, I mean, you want Tolson to do something positive, but you also want the inning to end as quickly as possible just to get back on the field and seal the win. But Tolson hasn't had too many at-bats this year. Looking to take advantage right now. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup, up and in. And the count levels at 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes. The stretch and the offering. And that is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Throw back to second, but that doesn't matter. The inning is over. As Tolson goes down looking. The Mustangs in the inning score 5 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Fort Morgan needs 3 outs to secure the victory as they lead 19-2 in Arvada over the Bulldogs on B106 and B106.com. The Mustangs lead 19-2 here going into the bottom of the 5th inning. The new pitcher is Trey McBride, who just drilled a gargantuan 3-run homer moments ago. Bobby Tolson now at first. Looks like everybody else, at least from this vantage point, remains more or less the same. We might have a new center fielder. Yeah, Jacob Ortega is now in center. So McBride here in the bottom of the 5th will face Andrew Shin, Aeneas Olson, and Jason Peterson. And McBride has been effective in his limited duty. Really didn't throw much on the varsity level to this year. 2 appearances, 1-0 with an ERA of 0. So he's pitched very well in those limited appearances. And looking to generate 3 outs to secure this victory. So here's the number 1 hitter, Andrew Shin. He singled and reached on an error. He's 1 for 2. McBride unofficially driven in 5. And the pitch, fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Just trying to get him some work. Make this pitching staff as deep as possible. The offering, and that one is in the dirt, 2-0. Yeah, not easy to pitch in a 17-run game. You'd think it'd be easy. Now McBride is going to operate out of the stretch. And the 2-0 is down and away with a fastball. 3-0 here to Andrew Shin. The offering. And he grooves that one in there, but it's a little bit high. McBride thought he had a strike, but it's a 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring up Aeneas Olson. Olson singled and struck out. He is 1 for 2. Are they asking here for extra baseballs? Yep. Umpire wants to get the game over with, but he's taking his time. I thought he did. Short lead at first. McBride gets a sign from Fajardo. And the pitch. That's a fastball for a strike on the inside corner. Belt high. It's 0-1. Let's go, Trey. Let's mow him down, get a ground ball or something here, and get the 3 outs, and the Mustangs will secure their 8th win of the year. And the pitch runner going. It bounces in and bounces to the screen. That's going to be a stolen base for Andrew Shin. No wild pitch because the runner was taking off. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, McBride has played several positions throughout his Mustang career. Was a right fielder as a freshman and a very good one. He is caught. He's played first base. Now pitching. Fastball is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Aeneas Olson, 19-2 Fort Morgan in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the offering. And that's a fastball right down the middle, strike 2. 2-2 to Olson, making his 3rd plate appearance, officially 1 for 2. Off of second is Shin. McBride looks back, and the pitch. Curveball is chopped left side, and deep in the hole. Linker has it. He'll have no play. It'll be a base hit for Olson. To third is Shin, 1st and 3rd with nobody out for Jason Peterson, who's popped out and singled. For Arvada to extend this to the 6th inning, they'd have to score 8 runs.
Right?
As Fort Morgan is up by 17. I don't know how closely they'll hold the runner. This is just about getting outs at this point. McBride, they're 90 feet away from McBride, allowing his 1st run of the season. And the pitch. Fastball is low. Runner goes to second. Throw goes all the way through and into center field. An errant throw. That'll score Shin from 3rd. It'll be a stolen base and an error. And Arvada now makes it a 19-3 game. And it's 1 ball and no strikes here on Peterson. The error to the catcher, Fajardo. 2nd error committed by Fort Morgan. Pitch by McBride. That's way outside, 2-0. Straight up at 6 o'clock. This is Morgan County's B106. KPRB. Brush, Fort Morgan. That one bounces in, 3-0. Yeah, Trey struggling to throw strikes. 12 pitches thrown, only 3 for strikes so far. He'll have to settle down. 3 balls and no strikes to Jason Peterson. Arvada's plated a run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They trail Fort Morgan 19-3. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Man, he went fishing on a 3-0 with a fastball down the middle. It's 3-1. Yeah, I remember we had a game. Geez, I think it was 5 years ago. Morgan was up like 19-4. And then Fort Lupton scored 6 runs. And it went all 7 innings. The game took 3 hours before Fort Morgan won 20-10. That's in the dirt. 2nd walk issued by McBride in the inning. So here is Levi Mayer, who struck out and hit into a sac fly, or delivered a sac fly, so he's 0 for 1. Arvada has the first 3 on base on 2 walks and a single. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, bottom of the 5th inning, Fort Morgan leading 19-3. And McBride comes home. Man, he's shortening up big time. That's in the dirt again. 1 ball and no strikes. I think he wants to extend. If he can extend the stride a little bit more, he'll feel more comfortable. He's not comfortable on that mound. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Fajardo. That's more like it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Levi Mayer. Fajardo lays down the sign. Let's see if it's straight fastball here, the pitch. It's a curveball, swung on, grounded to second. Mussman's got it, flips to first for the out. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, but the Mustangs accomplish exactly what they wanted, which is to get an out even if the runners advance, and there's 1 down in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sam Gardner, who was walked and flown to center, will now hit. And Trey McBride out of the windup with one down in this fifth inning. And the senior comes home. Fastball is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Mustangs are 2 outs away. And Trey delivers. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with a fastball, and Gardner was late on that one. And the count levels at 1-1. Post-game show coming up, followed by the player of the game. We could have about 4 or 5 players of the game. And the breaking ball is up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mustangs have used 4 pitchers currently on the roster. Ortega, Tolson, Keller, and McBride. The pitch swung on and grounded weakly left side. The shortstop Linker deep in the hole, throws off his back foot to first, and it's off the glove of Tolson. Trail runner breaks for the plate to slide to tag, and getting in there was the trail runner Peterson. Arvada scores 2 more. It's 19-5. We'll score that a base hit, even though if Tolson scoops it, it would have been an out, but it was a throw off the back of Linker's foot. He threw it off balance, so it's 19-5. And 2 weakly hit ground balls have gone for base hits here for Arvada, but they plated 3 in the inning. Here's Arden Sanford with a man on and 1 out. And the pitch, and that bounces in. 1 ball and no strike. Sanford has singled and struck out. He is 1 for 2 in the game. Again, Arvada needs 5 more runs to extend this to the 6th inning. The pitch, that fastball's right there for a strike at the knees down the middle. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Trey is pitching into a little bit of bad luck. He doesn't have control of the strike zone, but the balls that have been hit on that left side have not been directly to a fielder. The offering swung on and fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, congratulations to Trey, the 7th Fort Morgan Mustang to be inducted into the National Football Foundation Colorado Chapter Hall of Fame. That was on Monday night. 1-2. Sanford awaits the pitch, and the breaking ball is a called strike 3 on the inside corner. There's 2 down. Boy, that was an excellent hook by McBride. And here's Tanner Vaughn, who was struck out swinging and grounded out. With 2 down. And the curveball's a beauty down the middle for a strike. Bell tie, it's 0-1. Now Trey's in a rhythm. The stretch. And McBride delivers. Fastball down the middle, strike 2 at the knees. Trey looks like a new pitcher with the last 4 or 5 pitches he's thrown. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Vaughn. Breaking ball is inside with a runner going. Gardner with a stolen base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vaughn ready. So is McBride, who delivers the 1-2. Curveball is popped up in the infield, and the shortstop Linker coming in makes the running catch, and the Fort Morgan Mustangs have won the game by a score of 19-5. 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error for Arvada in the inning. Let's take a 1-minute break. We'll wrap it up after this on B106 and B106.com. Mustang Post-Game Show brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher at morganc.edu, or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, there to help you imagine, believe, and achieve your goals. Morgan Community College as the Fort Morgan Mustangs win in Arvada over the Bulldogs 19-5. 19 runs on 15 hits, 2 errors, 8 left on base for the Mustangs. 5 runs, 7 hits, 6 errors, and 5 left on base for Arvada. The winning pitcher was Jacob Ortega, who went 4 innings. The loss went to Jason Peterson. Time of the game, 2 hours and 1 minute. And the Mustangs didn't waste any time getting on the board with 4 runs in the first inning. Jacob Ortega had an RBI double. Isaac Linker then with an RBI ground out made it 2-0. Jimmy Keller had a run scoring single in that first inning. and he would later score on a wild pitch. The Mustangs added a run in the second to make it 5-0 on another RBI double from Ortega. And then they extended the lead to 6-0 in the third before Arvada came back with 2 runs of their own. But then Fort Morgan eventually put this game away with 8 runs in the top of the 4th inning. And then they added 5 more in the top of the 5th. Alex Ortega had an RBI single in that 4th inning. J.P. Hamer had a 2-run double. Trey McBride ended up with a 3-run homer, also had a 2-run single, as the Mustangs are now 3-0 in Colorado 7 league play, and they are sitting at 8-3 overall. As for Arvada, 0-3 in league play and 6-5 on the season. All right, time for the Mustang Player of the Game, brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado and in Fort Morgan and Sterling. A great selection of new and used vehicles. Stop by and take a test drive. Transwest Chevrolet Buick. I mean, we, of course, did give it to Ortega and McBride in the Welch Central game 2 games ago. And I believe Bobby Tolson, I'm not sure who Brian gave it to last game against Conifer, but J.P. Hamer certainly set the stage 2 for 2 with the double, the 2 RBIs, and he also walked twice. So J.P. Hamer, who was the table setter for Fort Morgan, is the Mustang Player of the Game. Mustangs back in action on Friday when they entertain the Englewood Pirates. That will be starting at 4 o'clock. We'll have it right for you right here on B106 as well as B106.com. Great work, as always, by our sound engineer and producer, Isaac Greenwood. I'm John Beltran. The final score in 5 innings, Fort Morgan 19, Arvada 5 on B106 and B106.com.